Tidal Royalty CEO Paul Rosen joins us now on Small Cap Power. Paul, welcome to Small Cap Power.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. I'm delighted to be here today.
Can you give us an introduction to Tidal Royalty? What's your line of business?
Tidal is a royalty finance company that is lighting up and capitalizing best-in-class US licensed cannabis operators. So ours is a product that is similar to a mining royalty. We will put up all the CapEx for a company's expansion, and rather than taking back shares or charging the company an interest in the form of debt, we will attach to the top line revenue that our capital creates. I decided to become a startup CEO again with Tidal because I look at the US cannabis industry as the most dynamic, underdeveloped market in global cannabis, and I look at Tidal as a unique company that can fully realize the soon-to-be massive lift in the value of US cannabis operators. Yeah. So everything I've learned over the last 6 years in Canada, starting Kronos, leading Breakwater to be probably one of the most aggressive and highly valued VC funds, private fund, there's no management fees, it's me with my own money. All of this experience and sitting on multiple boards across the industry fully informed the decisions we made at Tidal to shape our product. Tidal is publicly traded on the Canadian Securities Exchange under the symbol RLTY.U.CN. But what it's really doing is offering investors that are interested in participating in the dynamic, anticipated growth of the US cannabis industry with a well-run, diversified product. So rather than choosing which of the many possible investment opportunities you could choose in without having the benefit of contextualization, you know that the Tidal team has been identifying and investing and building some of the premier assets in global cannabis, and this is all a matter of public record. And we also diversify our products, so rather than investing in one company, you're really, through us, investing in several companies simultaneously. And because we attach to the top line revenue, we anticipate that we'll become an income positive fund and will really be a growth stock with income attached to it.
So when you go shopping for assets or investments, what makes the cut in your eyes?
It's not any one factor, but at the end of the day, even though it seems like the most simple and obvious thing, we're looking at management, because we don't take back shares in these companies. We are really probably making the longest term bet on the performance of management. If management is failing, we can't sell our shares. So ultimately, and I would say this is true of all investors, you're looking for a combination of a potentially seismic market opportunity, but being in a seismic market isn't sufficient. You need to pair that with best-in-class management, because make no mistake, this is a very competitive industry, and just simply having a cannabis production license or a processing license is not sufficient. You have to make max value of that, and that's going to really come down to the meritocracy of your organization. I'm old-fashioned. I think better organizations outperform poorer organizations. I'm funny that way.
And lastly, there are varying figures in terms of how big the market in North America is going to be for cannabis. What's your estimate?
Bigger than any of those figures would suggest. I think if you consider the full cannabis economy and you include the hemp industry, I see cannabis and hemp being the largest CPG input in the world. I think it's medicine, it's medicinal. The size of the medicinal market is not fully appreciated because we're just getting into making advanced formulations. So I see it as being as big as pharma, combined with as big as alcohol and beer, combined with as big as lifestyle. I see it as touching so many different sectors of big business simultaneously. So what's the dollar amount? How much money will be spent on cannabis in North America in 10 years from now at a retail level? I'm going to say that it's going to be north of $50 billion spent, probably quite a bit north of that, and that's just sales. And so we're working on high margins, and it likely will expand beyond that. We are showing an incredible commitment towards innovation. With innovation comes more product categories. With more product categories comes more sales. With more sales comes more revenue. So I think even the most bullish projections are going to be proven low because of how incredible this plant is and how supple and versatile it is.
Because we also now have big corporate giants, eyeing this sector, alcohol brands and tobacco and pharma.
It's great. It's about time. We welcome big business. We're not threatened by it. I think that we've shown that we can build scale before big business gets here. And big business, they're not going to break us. They're either going to build with us or buy us, is what I think. This is very early in cannabis still, even though I've been at it for 6 years, and I feel like it's sort of been around forever as a business. We're very, very, very early right now, and the real big money expressed through big business, big institutions, big banks, hasn't come into our industry yet. So I think I pay such close attention, I can start to see meaningful trend lines that this industry is going to be much more substantial, and it's going to cross over into many more industries than I think people realize. It's truly transformative.
Amazing. Paul Rosen, thank you so much for those insights.
Thank you so much.